If you own a BMW X5, there are 7 default settings and factory configurations in your vehicle that independent BMW specialists consistently flag when X5s come in showing early wear. Not dealership talking points, not the official service checklist. The things specialists actually notice when they're looking at a vehicle that's aged faster than it should. These aren't always buried in hidden menus. Some of them are default behaviors you've probably never thought to question. But the cumulative effect of leaving them unchecked, particularly on a vehicle as heavy and as sophisticated as the X5, can meaningfully accelerate wear on some of the most expensive components you own. I want to be clear about something up front. These settings won't destroy your X5 overnight. What they can do, and what specialists consistently report, is contribute to premature where that shows up at 70,000 miles instead of 120,000 miles. On a vehicle where a transfer case replacement can run to $3,500 and an air suspension rebuild can run to $3,000, that gap matters. 7 settings. Let's go through them properly. Setting number 1, hill descent control default state. Let's start with one that surprises even experienced X5 owners. Hill descent control, HDC, is BMW's system for managing slow, controlled descents on loose or uneven terrain. Using the ABS and brake actuators, it holds the vehicle at a fixed low speed on steep gradients without you touching the brake pedal. On a genuine off-road surface, it works brilliantly. Here's where the issue arises. On the G05 X5, the current generation, HDC retains its last used state. Many owners activate it once, perhaps by accident or during initial exploration of the controls, and the system stores that state. On normal roads at normal speeds, HDC won't actively engage, but it remains in a primed state that puts a continuous low-level load on the electronic parking brake actuator and the rear ABS modulators. Independent BMW specialists who work heavily on X5s report that rear caliper issues, particularly on the integrated electric parking brake units at the rear, tend to appear earlier on vehicles where HDC use has been inconsistent or left active outside of appropriate conditions. The rear calipers on the X5 are among the more commonly replaced items in the 60,000 to 90,000 mile range. They're not a cheap fix. You're looking at $400 to $750 per caliper at an independent specialist, and they typically go in pairs. This is the kind of thing that's very easy to check and very easy to fix. And most owners simply don't know to look. The fix: check your instrument cluster for the HDC indicator light. If it's illuminated, press and hold the HDC button to deactivate it. Then go into iDrive, My Vehicle Driving Settings, and confirm that HDC is not set to remain active by default. On most G05 builds, this takes under 2 minutes. Setting number 2, transfer case mode after off-road or rough road use. This next one catches people who have the off-road package, and quite a few who don't realize their driving style is having the same effect. I had a conversation with a specialist who works almost exclusively on high-mileage X5s. He told me about an F15 that came in at 62,000 miles with a transfer case that showed clear signs of heat stress and degraded fluid. The owner used the X5 for regular towing and had been leaving the vehicle in a more aggressive torque split configuration. Not full off-road mode, but not standard either. Without realizing, it was stored between drives. The BMW X5's transfer case has its own dedicated lubrication fluid, separate from the gearbox oil. BMW classifies this as a lifetime fill. They say you never need to change it. What that classification doesn't account for is extended operation and high torque split modes on dry tarmac, where the internal clutch packs generate more heat than the system was designed to sustain continuously. Transfer case fluid that's been heat-stressed looks and behaves very differently to fresh fluid. When it degrades, the clutch packs it lubricates don't run cleanly. Over time, that means increased wear on one of the most expensive drivetrain components on the vehicle. Transfer case replacements on the X5 run from $3,000 to $5,000 depending on generation and part sourcing. The good news: this is entirely preventable with a simple habit and a fluid change every 50,000 to 60,000 miles. Regardless of what BMW's maintenance schedule says, The fix: after any off-road use, towing, or rough terrain driving, go into iDrive, My Vehicle, then 4x4 settings or driving mode, and return the transfer case and torque split to standard. Don't assume it resets automatically. On many builds, it doesn't. Setting number 3, air suspension default ride height. This one is the most expensive on the list if you get it wrong. It's also the most misunderstood. The X5's air suspension system is genuinely impressive engineering. It allows the vehicle to raise or lower ride height on demand, adapt to load, and maintain composure across a huge range of conditions. But the air compressor that powers the system has a specific duty cycle. It's designed to run in short bursts with adequate cooling time between cycles. When owners set the X5 to maximum ride height, the raised position, and leave it there for extended periods, the compressor works significantly harder to maintain that height against the vehicle's substantial weight. The X5 sits between 2,200 and 2,500 kilograms, depending on specification. Holding it at maximum height on motorways, through varied surfaces in varying temperatures, means the compressor is cycling more frequently and for longer durations than it was engineered to sustain. Air suspension compressor replacement on the X5 costs between $700 and $1,400. The air struts themselves, which also show earlier fatigue on vehicles that regularly hold maximum height, cost $450 to $800 each. On a full-size X5, a full air suspension rebuild can exceed $3,500. There's a secondary issue that's less obvious. At maximum ride height, the X5's wheel geometry shifts. Camber and toe move away from their calibrated positions. Extended motorway driving at maximum height contributes to uneven front tire wear, specifically outer edge wear. That adds tire costs on top of the suspension costs. The fix: use normal or comfort height for all standard road use. Reserve raised height for when you genuinely need it. In iDrive, check My Vehicle, then suspension settings, and confirm what your store default height is. If it's set to high or maximum, change it. Your compressor will outlast the vehicle if you treat it correctly. Setting number 4, engine cooling configuration on N63 and B57 variants. This one is controversial among BMW specialists. I want to be transparent about that, but it's worth understanding because the principle is sound even where the exact mechanism varies between builds. The X5 is substantially heavier than a standard BMW saloon, and both the N63 V8 petrol and the B57 diesel, the two most common X5 powertrains, generate significant heat loads, particularly under sustained load, towing, motorway driving in warm ambient temperatures, stop-start urban conditions. Some X5 variants, particularly those coded for reduced NVH, noise, vibration, harshness, performance, have auxiliary fan parameters that limit maximum cooling fan speed in urban and low-speed environments. This isn't always a hidden setting in the traditional sense. It's sometimes a calibration applied during pre-delivery preparation or as part of a comfort-focused coating profile. The consequence, as reported by independent specialists working on the N63 specifically, is that coolant temperatures in slow urban traffic can run at the upper end of the acceptable range. Not into warning territory, but above the optimal 90 to 95 degree window. The N63 is already a well-documented engine for thermal management sensitivity. BMW issued multiple technical service bulletins relating to the N63's heat management and associated oil consumption. Running consistently at the upper thermal boundary accelerates oil degradation between changes. For B57 diesel owners, elevated thermal cycles in stop-start conditions also accelerate DPF loading and injector wear, two of the more expensive diesel service items. The fix: this is one for your independent BMW specialist rather than a DIY iDrive adjustment. Ask them to check your cooling fan parameters and whether your build has a noise reduction calibration active. If so, have them recode it to standard fan behavior. This typically costs $60 to $100 in coding time and is one of the better value specialist visits you can make on a high-mileage N63 or B57. Setting number 5. Gearbox shift program stored independently of drive mode. This is the one most X5 owners get wrong, and it's costing them without them realizing it. The X5 uses the ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox, one of the best automatic transmissions ever built. But even the ZF 8-speed has a specific vulnerability, and the X5's menu architecture creates a trap for owners who don't know what to look for. Within iDrive, the X5 has a transmission shift program setting that operates independently of your overall drive mode. It's entirely possible, and more common than you'd expect, to be driving in comfort mode overall while your gearbox is still operating on a sport shift logic. This means the transmission holds gears longer, delays upshifts, and runs the torque converter lockup clutch in a tighter engagement state. The torque converter lockup clutch is the component that mechanically connects engine to gearbox at cruising speeds. In sport shift mode, on a vehicle producing the torque outputs of the X5's diesel or V8 variants, this clutch experiences a higher sustained load than in standard mode. ZF 8-speed torque converter issues manifest as a shudder at 40 to 55 miles per hour under light throttle, a symptom frequently misdiagnosed initially, leading to diagnostic fees before the root cause is confirmed. Torque converter replacement on an X5 is a significant job, typically $1,400 to $2,300 at an independent specialist. Gearbox oil, which BMW calls a lifetime fill on the ZF 8-speed, should realistically be changed every 40,000 to 50,000 miles. Heat is the primary enemy of ZF fluid, and sport shift mode generates more heat. The fix: go into iDrive, My Vehicle, driving mode settings, then transmission. Check whether the sport shift program is independently selected. Set it to standard or comfort. This is a separate adjustment from your overall drive mode, and many owners never check it. Setting number 6. Brake energy regeneration intensity in urban conditions. Brake energy regeneration is one of those features that sounds unambiguously good, and largely it is. But on the X5, the intensity setting matters more than most owners appreciate. When you lift off the throttle with regeneration set to maximum, the system creates significant engine braking by increasing alternator load. On a light vehicle, this is manageable. On a 2,400 kilogram X5 in urban stop-start conditions, maximum regeneration creates a specific thermal pattern on the rear brake discs that independent specialists consistently flag. The X5's rear brakes are working in a cycle of regenerative deceleration load, followed by conventional friction braking, followed by heat dissipation, repeated dozens of times on a typical urban journey. At maximum regeneration intensity, the thermal cycling, rapid heating and cooling, can contribute to disc surface stress over time. BMW X5 rear disc warping is a widely documented issue in the X5 owner community, and while disc quality and pad specification are factors, the regeneration intensity setting is one that specialists often check first. Rear disc and pad replacement on an X5 typically runs to $400 to $700 at an independent specialist. Not catastrophic in isolation, but if you're replacing them at 40,000 miles instead of 70,000 miles, that's a preventable cost. The fix: find the brake energy regeneration setting in iDrive under My Vehicle or Driving Settings. For regular urban driving, medium is the appropriate setting. Maximum regeneration is well suited to longer deceleration events on motorways and roads where heat has time to dissipate between events. Varying it to suit conditions extends disc life noticeably. Setting number 7. Battery management and AGM registration status. This last one isn't a driving setting. It's a maintenance oversight that independent specialists describe as one of the most common and most consequential issues they see on X5s that have changed hands. The BMW X5 uses an AGM battery, absorbent glass mat, which is substantially more sophisticated and substantially more expensive than a conventional lead-acid battery. The X5's battery management system, the DME, and the dedicated battery management computer monitors the battery's state of health, and adjusts the charging voltage and regeneration load accordingly when the battery is replaced, either at a dealer or independently. The new battery must be registered with the vehicle's management system. Registration tells the DME the new battery's capacity, age, and chemistry, so the charging system recalibrates correctly. When this registration is skipped, the DME continues charging to parameters calibrated for the old battery. It either overcharges, which significantly shortens AGM battery life, or undercharges, leaving the battery in a partial state of charge that also accelerates degradation. Skipped battery registration is extremely common when batteries are replaced outside of franchise dealers, and even at some dealers who don't follow the procedure correctly. Specialists report X5s going through batteries every 2 to 3 years instead of the expected 5 to 7 years. An entirely preventable pattern. An AGM battery for the X5 costs $250 to $400. Registration adds $60 to $100 at an independent specialist. There's a secondary effect. The X5's intelligent alternator system adjusts its output based on battery management data. An unregistered or incorrectly managed battery can cause the alternator to work harder than necessary over extended periods. And X5 alternator replacements are not inexpensive, typically running to $500 to $800. The fix: if you've ever had your X5 battery replaced, at any point by anyone, ask your independent specialist to confirm that battery registration was completed correctly. They can check this in under 10 minutes with ISDA or BIMR code. If it wasn't done, have it done now. It's one of the cheapest high-value jobs you can give an X5. 7 settings. Some in the iDrive menu. Some requiring a specialist. One that's purely a maintenance check. None of them dramatic. All of them the kind of thing that separates an X5 that's still running well at 120,000 miles from one that's accumulated expensive problems at 70,000 miles. What I want you to take from this video is an alarm. The X5 is genuinely well-engineered. These aren't design flaws. They're default configurations that made sense for the average short-cycle driver and simply don't serve long-term owners as well as they should. The quick recap. 1. HDC default state. Check it, turn it off, confirm the iDrive default. 2. Transfer case mode after off-road or towing use. Return as standard every time. 3. Air suspension default height. Normal for roads, raised only when you need it. 4. Cooling configuration on N63 and B57 variants. Worth a conversation with your specialist. 5. Gearbox Chief Program. Check it independently from your drive mode. 6. Brake regeneration intensity. Medium for urban, adjust for motorways. 7. Battery registration. If you don't know whether it was done, find out. Most of these checks take under 15 minutes. The battery registration and coding work cost under $200 combined at a good independent specialist. Compare that to the repair bills I've mentioned throughout this video, and it's not a difficult calculation. This is exactly the kind of information that doesn't come up in a standard service appointment. Not because dealers are hiding it, but because it isn't on their checklist. Knowing to ask is the difference. If this video was useful, subscribe. Every video on this channel is built around one principle: giving BMW owners the knowledge that protects their investment. No padding, no guesswork, just the information that actually matters. Leave a comment below. Which of these 7 had you never considered before? I'm genuinely curious what catches people off guard. Go check those settings. Your X5 is worth it.